I got the book back too. So, what is Tech Exchange? So that's a great first question, right? So Tech Exchange is a program where Google is kind of reaching into underrepresented communities, specifically HSIs and HBCUs, in order to kind of make it a more inclusive environment in tech. So this is kind of a way to accelerate different people and backgrounds in these areas to get exposure and kind of just be immersed in the space of tech just in a new way. So bringing those schools and literally bringing them at Google to take classes. How dope does that sound? The only limit to the whole program is literally your imagination, how you want to learn, because there's just so many different avenues where you can learn from. You can learn from Googlers who are teaching the class, PhDs from the different HBCUs, and even the students. There's some remarkable students in the program, and honestly, it's been some of the most smartest people I've been around personally. It's inspired me to push further and actually get out there and challenge myself. So classes. What kind of classes did I take at the Google Tech Exchange program? So you take classes in things such as machine learning, programming languages, and databases. My favorite class had to be programming languages because it was a pain. It was such a hard class because I'm telling you, these people, it was a split between one of the HBCU professors and one of the Google professors, has a PhD and actually works on Google Translate. So it's actually really cool. These people are actually working on real life products. They're teaching the class and they're literally going in as if you're taking their whole education route. So with just full, just love and care, love, tender, and care to get the content and actually know what you're doing in the program. So spent many long nights in programming languages, not even knowing what to do. We literally had to basically recode, basically the whole process for compiler syntax analysis. I know a lot of schools may do this in their final projects or whatever for programming languages, but I don't think my school did as cool and deep as a project as this, because man, you were giving a piece, some starter based code. I think you could have did it in Python or Java, and I think I did mine in Java, and man, it was a tough class. You don't understand anything, and you're doing a token analyzer. You gotta understand the token tree, and it just really opens your mind. It really challenged me, and it's one of the classes I hated the most. Probably stayed up the longest for, and the only class in the program I've gotten a B in, and yeah, it was just that class. Man, those projects and everything you were learning was actually really cool, but very challenging at the same time. I was in the 2018 to 2019 cohort, so we were the only cohort that did it for a whole year. So before us, I think there was Howard West, where they were out there for the summer. We were actually the cohort that went from August to May. I think we're the only group to do that, and boy, was that an experience, because literally this program is where you go to Google, right? And you're taking classes, you're leaving your HBCU, and you're going to Google to take classes and get college credit from different Google professors and HBCU professors. So you're taking the same classes as if you were taking them back at your school. It's a phenomenal experience, but again, you're out there for a whole year. It's kind of insane because you're away from friends, family. I was just in a totally different space for a whole year. So just being just new to the college experience, because I know this is my sophomore, technically my second year in college. I graduated in 3 years. It was kind of hard. It was a hard choice. It was an easy and hard choice because again, Google is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You can always go take classes on any college campus, and I just felt man, not everybody has the chance to actually go and learn from Googlers, actually, just really 10x themselves out the program. So yeah, it was really hard because we had to literally pick up our lives and move for a whole year. It was insane. So yeah, being a part of that cohort, it was just very special because we got probably the most experience and impact than just pretty much anybody who would ever do the program. We were the guinea pigs. They didn't really know how things were gonna go because this is the first time they were doing this. Basically now, the program is only doing semester cohort programs because we're kind of the guinea pigs, and being out there for a whole year, again, away from friends and family, it was a lot. But you're at Google, it does balance out, but it was still a pretty, it was pretty different, just being college students, and you're kind of out there alone. So you're around all these adults. You're this, at the time, me, and it's the second year computer science major at FAMU, and it was an insane experience. It's you almost have to kind of be more mature and grow up a little bit. I did definitely in the program. I felt like I just entered and exited with a whole different level of maturity. But it was definitely an experience that made you kind of rise up to the rack. The different schools that participated in the program, just to name a few: New Mexico State, University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez, UTEP, Howard University, Morgan State, and of course my school, Florida A&M. Damn you, y'all. So how did I get into the program? So it was actually a really straightforward experience. So Google kind of picked out different schools they wanted to reach out to beforehand. So our professor, one of our professors at our school, and I think like this is plays a huge factor. He was, I think, one of the volunteers for Howard West, the program that was just over the summer, and he kind of represented our school. Google was like, hey, we hear you. Let's get some students from your school. So they basically told faculty at our school to select out top students, so students that are pretty serious about computer science, have pretty good GPAs, some internship experience, it's good as well. Some internship experience is good as well, and they just really wanted us to select, just good candidates, pretty average stuff. So as a part of the program at our school, they just did like a whole presentation. I actually missed the presentation because I think I had like class or something where I had to study for a test. Actually, it was very so I had to study for a test. You basically just submitted a brief bio on why you should be selected for the program, talking about your GPA and basically your aspirations and everything you have and want in computer science. And yeah, just honestly having like a relationship with the professors, it helped a lot because I was actually kind of well known at the school at FAMU at the time for just being on top of my classes, being one of the people who just always turn in projects on time, had pretty good grades. I was already seen in that light. So without even doing an essay, was already kind of like in light of the professors. So we did an essay, boom, they selected people, and then we went on to Google to do behavioral interviews. So this was probably it was the first time the process got rolled out, so it was probably like very easy and simple. And we just did one kind of behavioral interview with Google. So I guess at the time, Google kind of just trusted that the faculty, just had chosen pretty technical savvy students. And also the program was pretty much projected for juniors, so the classes were for junior year, so what kind of helped as well is that you had all those prerequisites in those classes, so when you went there, you were taking classes that would keep you on track, classes that you were ready for. So I honestly had all of that down. I know I would say it was a second year, but I actually started college early in high school, which made me kind of in my second year be a junior. So I was already, on track for that. So we were on track. Professors chose people, we interviewed, and yeah, once we interviewed, I'm not sure the timeline, but it was pretty fast. Just Google got back and they were saying, hey, actually, I think it was a pretty long time. I'm not too sure on the timeline, but they got back to me. They got back to me and they were like, hey, we want to invite you to the Google Tech Exchange program. So actually, I wasn't too sure that I was going to do it because at the time I was going into California to do my internship at Apple, and I knew then there that, I'm actually going to stay in California for a little bit. I got accepted to this program. Let's do it. That was the process. It was being in the light. So it kind of starts, and I tell people all the time, your brand starts when you walk on your campus. So those professors, they're gonna realize who their star players are. They're gonna realize who their star students are. So when any company, any opportunities come about, you are gonna be the first person to call on. So you always want to make sure you have that demeanor and just be ready for every and any opportunity. Tech Exchange program, we were the first year of doing this for a full year. So it was very ambiguous going in. I'm not gonna lie. We weren't sure what classes we were gonna take. We kind of went back and forth with professors before we left about the different classes that we wanted to take. But we weren't accepted yet. I think it was neutral, or did we get accepted? I'm pretty sure we knew we were going, but there was just some final things on Google's side, and those things got confirmed over the summer. And yeah, as we were onboarding, I literally started my last day of my internship at Apple. It was 4 or 5 days away. It started in the middle of the week, at least for my school, where I just had to show up and I'm at Google just taking classes. So it was like a complete shift because I'm moving from one totally different tech company to another. But it was just a pretty even easy transition. I think I flew back, just had some downtime, some vacation, and then just went straight into classes. So the onboarding process for them, it was actually very ambiguous through emails, but I think it was just because it was the first year. But man, they were just busy taking care of business. So we got there and we kind of missed some of the week because it actually started on Monday, but our school sent us out like a Wednesday or Thursday. But man, they were just going in depth about getting our badges, getting our cool swag. My bag is like kind of worn out right now. But getting our cool swag, getting our Google laptops, we all had Macs. Man, Google was taking care. And yeah, just getting us squared away with our badges and basically like security stuff for to take our classes. And they were just basically getting us ready during the first week for what classes are going to be like, what's your rubric, what's your schedule, how to navigate around Google, kind of like the expectations, and kind of, just getting to know each other. You're putting a bunch of college students from the East Coast, a bunch of HBCU students, bringing them over here, and now they're taking class. This has never been done before. So they were just explaining to us everything that was going to happen that first week. So, but honestly, it set us up so well. Like, the people there were so committed, just like the coordinators, like you can just send them messages anytime you needed to, and they would be there to answer. Just some stuff from my school that we were missing for a piece of it. And yeah, they caught us up really fast. We were just able to kind of just like assimilate into all the other schools that were already there. So yeah, how were the classes? The classes were honestly great. Honestly, they were spectacular.